It is a great satisfaction to greet you, and I hope you find yourself well, both you and your pet. In today's video we will talk about the following. Why do dogs move their tails? Let's find out now. One of the misconceptions about dogs is that wagging the tail means that the dog is friendly. Although it can mean this, of course, there are many more reasons why dogs wag their tails. The type of interaction the dog is willing to have can be positive or negative. This means that you cannot just assume that a dog is friendly because he is wagging his tail. There are many factors to consider when evaluating your dog's tail movement, including a variety of behaviors. 1. What does it mean when dogs wag their tails? Dogs use their tails as a form of communication to convey different emotions. The emotion that is conveyed largely depends on the position of the tail and the speed of the tail movement. While most dogs have their tails hanging down, there are some breeds whose natural tail position is upright and some dogs do not have a tail. Fortunately, despite these differences, the tail movements are generally the same. Here are several emotions that a dog can convey by wagging its tail. 1. He's happy and friendly. When a dog expresses happiness or sympathy, his tail is usually in a neutral or slightly erect position and he moves at a moderate speed. His tail is more relaxed than usual and moves more freely. It may even be moving in a circular fashion. The more excited a dog is, the faster it tends to wag its tail. When dogs are really excited and friendly, they sometimes also move their hips or even their entire body, from shoulders to tail. 2. Curiosity. When a dog is curious about something, such as when he encounters a new scent, his tail is usually held straight behind him. This may or may not be associated with a tail flick. The tail is often held still. He will also stand in an alert posture with his ears raised. 3. You're relaxed. A dog that is relaxed will stand in a relaxed posture and hold his tail in a neutral position without wagging his tail. He will only start wagging his tail when he feels an emotion. 4. Submission and fear. Before describing a submissive or fearful tail wag, it is important to note that dogs can express two types of fear: submissive fear and aggressive fear. It is important to catch the signals that a dog gives to avoid aggravating the situation. Dogs that are submissive often lower their tails or tuck it between their legs. If a dog wags its tail with the tail tucked well between the legs, this is usually indicative of submission and extreme fear. If a dog shows this sign, it is best to avoid petting him so that the situation does not escalate, since submissive fear can progress to aggressive fear. 5. Aggressive or threatening. An aggressive dog will swing his tail into an upright position that will arch over his back. The tail will be very stiff and may or may not move. If a dog wags his tail while he is in this position, it means that he is ready to fight. The faster he wags his tail, the more agitated and aggressive the dog will be. Dogs showing signs of aggression should be left alone because they are likely to try to bite if a human or animal tries to interact with them. When dogs don't want to interact at all, they usually stop wagging their tails and their entire body freezes. He says to you, "Please leave me alone." How do dogs that do not have a tail communicate? Since dogs communicate so many different emotions with their tails, then how do dogs without tails communicate? Like humans, they use their voice and body language. Here are some ways dogs use their voice and body language to communicate: barking, grunting, whining, crying. Facial expressions: pull back lips, smile, frown, lick lips. Eye position: gaze or direct eye contact, changing eyes, side eye, also known as way line. Ear position: flat, lively, relaxed. Posture: stooped, cowering, curtsies, bristles, stiffens, or frozen. The most important thing to remember is that just because a dog is wagging its tail doesn't necessarily mean it's friendly. Always ask the pet's parent before reaching out and petting their dog. A scientific discovery. Scientists have also discovered that there is a difference between moving the tail more to the right or to the left. Dogs that convey more positive emotions will wag their tails slightly to the right, while dogs that convey more negative emotions will wag their tails slightly to the left. Dogs that wag their tails slightly to the right tend to be friendlier. Dogs that wag their tails slightly to the left tend to be more stressed or anxious and exhibit withdrawal tendencies. Would you like to have more professional information, and especially updated about your dog? Visit the website below in the description of this video. Do not stop subscribing to the channel, comment, and share the video. You are very well, thank you.